night. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good race tonight. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Christmas race here for Pit Stall Racing Series here on the showcase tonight. As we get ready to get down to the action, get down to the showcase here, we welcome you here to this holly jolly spectacle event. For all the good reasons and all the good boys and girls out there, you have been treated to a good show. To all the bad boys out there and all the bad girls, well, you probably still enjoyed it anyway, so we won't give you a complete lump of coal around here. But anyway, race fans, welcome back to the show here. I am the host, the Crusader Christian Shroud, joining you guys here today. As we get ready to get down to the action, get down to business, there's a few things we will kind of explain and get through here today as we are currently live on the show. Real quick though, we do have a little friend of ours joining in. Our professor himself, Tim Lee, joins us in the chat here. Tim, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, buddy. Merry early Christmas. I'm doing well. Looking forward to tonight. How about you?
Doing all right, pretty good as well, and enjoying the Christmas time here. Man, I gotta ask you, you're coming in here with a little bit of a different car here. You gotta run the ARCA series here at the famed Phoenix Raceway on a closed circuit, old dog leg. What is the big change here, and what is it gonna take to really kind of take control of this race for you and this team?
Well, we wanted to shake it up a little bit and do something a little different for the Christmas race, so thought it was a good race committee thought it was a good idea for us to try the ARCA car. So we're going to be running that next year. So it's pretty fun. I love this track. I've always loved it. Doesn't mean I'm very fast at it, but it's just the configuration of the track is always fun to race on. So, and this car is a little more challenging than the super late model. So really just going to be about taking care of your stuff and trying to be as clean as possible and staying on that lead lap. But Santa is going to do some pretty wacky and wild things tonight with Cole and maybe some good prizes during the race, maybe some not so good ones, but that's what it's all about. It's about the Christmas spirit and just coming together for one last hoorah before Christmas and hopefully having a good time.
Having a good time indeed. Now, I know there is also some presents that Santa has brought to the table here. Care to share anything on that with us?
You mean like the in-race random draw, like EOLs and stuff like that?
Sure, why not? I mean, I said early on the top of the show that some of the bad boys and girls had to get a lump of coal eventually, but they were kind of nice enough to at least watch this race today.
Yeah, I think it's up in the air as who's going to be on the naughty list, right? But they will take care of that with the draws. And then other than that, we have we have some pretty good prizes for cash, and Santa is going to be Random drawing new winner for the Moza. I think it's the R9, the one that I bought the or 3 of them already for some people that won it previously. So it'll be a good night.
For sure there. All right, Tim, man, great to see you back here and great to hear from you once more.
Thanks, bud.
Tim Lee, ladies and gentlemen, the professor getting ready to head it down here and have a little fun tonight. Take it down now and talk here with another guy that says in his mind has been a good boy, although some may say otherwise. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the number 8 of Cody Griffin here on the call. And Cody, last time out, man, it looked like you had called out some of the bad boys and girls, but now you have to yourself have to be in line to take on them. What is it going to be like here today to have some fun in the Christmas race? I think he might have muted his mic here, guys. It looks like that is going to be the case here, so we'll go ahead and leave him alone there. Hey, we'll take a lot down here and talk to the chat here, see if the number 9 of Corey Coe is online. Corey, got a copy? And it looks like no word from Mr. Coe either, so looks like I am I'm 1 for 3 right now in terms of chats and who I'm talking to today. Well, we're going to try somehow, some way to kind of keep this going here. Race fans, we're going to try and talk with another driver, see if they listen in here. It is the Double O Exalta machine of Gordon Larson Jr. on the line.
What's up, fellas?
Well, we got you on the line at least here. Gordon, you having to trade in the Super Late Model car for a for an ARCA car here. What is going on down for you there?
Like this car and like this track.
Why is that, sir?
I've got me a few wins here at this track, so it's I've gotten pretty good here. I like the long run. If we can stay green, we'll be doing pretty good, I think.
Stay green indeed here now. With that open dog leg being closed off, do you think that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult for some drivers to make some deer passes on this track?
Yeah, I think it might clog it up a little bit. You know, I really like the open dog leg, so it's going to be a little bit different for me tonight. I'm used to running that open dog leg, and I use every bit of it. So we'll see how it goes, but the car feels pretty good.
All right, for sure there. Gordon, thanks so much for your time, and have a Merry Christmas race today.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate it.
Gordon Larson Jr., ladies and gentlemen, on the line. Cody Griffin has alerted me that he didn't have everything all situated out on his mic, but thankfully he's got it fixed. So, Cody, welcome back, sir.
Yes, sir. You got me now.
Well, we got you loud and clear here, buddy. Did you catch anything we said earlier, or do you want me to repeat?
Yeah, I got it. I was pressing the wrong key on the wheel there. To answer that question earlier, I honestly feel like this will probably go pretty good as far as, I go. These cars are more my speed, I would say. They got more power. You slide them around a lot more, so this definitely, and we're on, it races like a short track, even though it's a mile. So I'm definitely looking forward to this race. As long as we can keep the gremlins away from us, they're going to be giving out some random EOLs and random, from what I understand, random one-lap penalties and some stuff like that. So as long as we don't get caught up in anything like that, I think it'll be a pretty solid night for us.
Solid night indeed here, with a lot of guys also kind of keeping their heads clear and their heads cleaned up on the track here. I really know that a lot of drivers are going to be keeping a close eye on these hard to control cars here. For you in this case here, which side of the tires here really kind of take the worst beating versus for what the other side may take?
Yeah, I definitely think you're going to probably see right fronts, right rears, depending on how the driver drives it. It's really loose. This setup is pretty free for about the first 2 laps, and then I can get pretty aggressive with the throttle. So, if you're aggressive on the throttle all night, you're gonna burn the right rear up. If you're not, or you're trying to push it too hard on entry, you'll burn the right front up. So it's kind of hard to say. This field's got a pretty good. This league, I feel like, it's got a kind of a mix of both. You know, there's a few of us that are really hard on the throttle, and then there's a few of them that really pack it down off into the corner. So it'll definitely be interesting for sure to see how tire wear affects different people and how the race progresses on.
Absolutely there. Well, nevertheless, Cody here, man, it is great to have you back on the show. Great to hear from you. Let's see what happens here on the track to you today, sir.
Yeah, man. Hope to talk to y'all later tonight. Thank
Sounds good. Cody Griffin, ladies and gentlemen. Take it down now. Let's listen to some of the other drivers here right now on the call here. Cody Nelson going to join us here on the track as he's getting ready to set it out on the track here. Cody, great to see you back here on the show here, sir. But as the number 7 ARC car comes out onto the track here, I got to ask you, did you kind of go with the old white scheme to kind of make a little bit of snow here on the Phoenix Raceway desert?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even run these cars. Didn't know what my paint scheme was going to be. Haven't even turned a single lap here, so just going to try to get a couple laps in here before practice is over.
Have you had a practice at the Phoenix Raceway before or raced here before?
No, sir. Haven't turned a single lap here.
All right, well, my best wishes of luck to you, sir. Just a warning, it is a bit of a tire burner out there.
Awesome. Appreciate the advice.
Yep, no worries. Cody Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. I only know this because I've won races on tire burners before on this very same track. It's not as easy as it looks. I'll just say that right now. Also, to get no confusion, that is Steve Rada in the 8. Cody Griffin is in the other 8. Just know the blue scheme is Griffin. The black one is going to be Rada. So try not to get things too confused here tonight, guys. With 10 seconds left on the clock here before we enter into qualifying here, race fans, we're going to go ahead and get them squared up onto the field and out of the track. It's going to be an interesting showcase here for the drivers as this field is going to be put to their limits and put to their limits. And what best could be described as a long haul race for the Christmas race here today. We'll talk about stage laps here in just a little while too, but again, as I mentioned on top of the hour here, there are some gifts and prizes that will be given out here as well for these drivers in terms of those EOLs and some other things going down. So we won't go too in detail because I think they want to keep that a little bit closer to the heart, so I will keep that quiet. But later on, as the field goes in, you see drivers kind of throwing around a little bit. That's when things will kind of flip-flop around a little bit. So just kind of wait for it to kind of come out and come down the track here. It's time to set them off into the distance of the field. Now Rocket Start cars out on the track. You're getting a good look right now at Robert Kahn and Todd Poston here. And although Todd is kind of channeling my inner Halloween spirit, that's not quite a Christmas scheme all the way there, buddy. The Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm not going to count that as a Christmas movie. Maybe you guys at home can count it as one. I'm not going to. That's kind of like a mixed bag on terms of like trying to call it a Christmas movie. It's more Halloween based than me than anything. But, you know, Todd probably feels the same way I do, which is I'm not a huge fan of Christmas. I love Halloween, but Christmas just to me never, I don't know, it never really resonated after I got out of my younger years. Well, anyway, before I become a Grinch on the track there right now, the one that stooges above all of them is the one that snakes his way around everywhere. The 27.50, Robert Kahn is your fastest time setter. Despite not setting any lap times here on the practice, Cody Nelson already getting a 27.84 start out his time today. Let's see if that kind of holds up for the later half here as he brings it right around, gets a 27.97. That's not going to be enough there. Chantal Pano putting a 27.87 down on the track here. And she brings us today our famed SpongeBob Christmas scheme again. She's always had that scheme somewhere hanging around on her cars, whether it had been from the Super Lates to the late models to these ARCA cars. Although I believe she did tell me earlier that they mainly stay on her ARCA cars, so she just kind of tweaks them as she goes along. And speaking of tweaking around, so that's a really fast time. Actually, Todd Poston, Tim Lee, and Steve Rada. She lays down a 27.46. That will be the third fastest so far today. Cody Griffin's 2 laps will best at a 27.35. Kahn 27.33. He will continue to keep his confidence high and his level higher than anything else in his mind. Should be interesting to see how well that will hang down and hold out for him, though, because again, he's got a lot of work to do in this race, and Griffin actually just topples him just barely, 0.02 of a second on Khan. Eric Blount setting his times, 27.51 will be his fastest. Larson Jr. going to lay down a 5.7. Blake Trawick, who won last time out here on the pit stall end. He has laid down the third fastest, knocking down the throttle Chantel Pottle by about 100 of a second. The W56, or 0.56 I should add. There's a 0 in there. Gonna be the third fastest of the bunch, so that will set the field up high and dry here as we're gonna about 5 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Michael Pratt in the 45, and Douglas R. Johnson and Jeff Clifton, the 13 and the 15 respectively. They have yet to lay down a qualifying lap here. Field currently just eavesdropping down on the track here, kind of preparing up for what's ahead. Of course, this Christmas race, all for fun mainly, but there are a little bit of a thing or two to kind of go for it after today. Had to double check on the mics there, make sure our mics were working. Looks like they are. It just looks just not quite catching the sound the 056 is making down there. To me, it looks like most drivers are pretty much ready to go, so at this point, really, this is just kind of dead space and kind of dead time to kind of let everybody square up and get ready for what's about to come their way. Be interesting to see how it all plays down as we take a listen to some of the guys right now here. Len McNeese now on the line here, and Len, once again, sir, kind of having a little fun tonight on the track, but as we've seen before, you're going to have to completely revert your strategy and change to a different landscape. What's it going to be like today for you?
I don't know. I don't know if I can get a strategy for this. These are some of the guys that's on here that are fast. They're good, and I just can't get any speed out of it as usual. But it's just me. But being a Christmas race, it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with on the Nixon cannies, how they change things around a little bit.
Yeah, being a fun race and being a little bit of a more wild card race base, it definitely can throw a few loopholes for some of these drivers. For you and this team, though, I mean, does some of the loopholes and kind of the crisscrosses kind of give you a little bit more of a chance to try to make some or break some in this race today with you guys?
Well, they're going to have 3 stages, so I don't know if that's going to help us or hurt us. I'm not sure about the tires. I mean, we're getting on that, but this could be a tire race if we only got a couple of sets. But with them calling out I think there's 3 different stages they're going to give, so that could really put us in something different there.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, though, getting ready to go at it here. We'll see what happens on the track. Len, best of luck to you and the team today, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. And we appreciate you guys up there and Tim and everybody that puts this race on for us.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Len McNeese, everybody on the line, getting ready to head it down on the track. So best times here qualifying wise. Griffin laying down the fastest, just toppling Khan just by the slightest of errors. Khan going to have to really find a way to build speed back up. Trawick, same. Pottle definitely going to be one of the faster ones, though. Phoenix definitely seems to suit her style in terms of long run hauls. As Jeff Clifton finally puts the number 1 Benzoyl scheme out on the track. That is Steve Park's old ride there. Well, looks like Clifton decided to come out here, and he already wants to take a few drivers' places up already. Got a mantled speed lap there, 27.44. Gonna look for an even faster lap this time around. Clifton's had a lot of bad luck this season. He's looking to try to revert and change that here as his qualifying time. Well, initiate him still in the third spot. 27.42 though will be the time that he marks down. So top lane Treywick. And just kind of giving everybody else a bit of a shot in the dark here and kind of a little bit more of a runoff. So right now too, here the way we're looking at it here, we have the drawings done for the gift bags as well. They have been put in their position, and the other ones will have to start in certain areas and certain locations here. So you'll see a lot of swapping and swapping here on the leaderboard. Again, that is due to the fact that it is a wild card race, so depending on how they start and how they set it up, that's how it's going to be pretty much for the whole day. So right now also, real quick, we're going to be looking at lap 20, lap 45, and then 80. That'll be our flat yellow flags. That'll be the stages here. Then we'll let them go about 65, 70 laps to the distance to round out this 150 lap shootout race. That is how we're going to play it out. And again, it will get a little confusing throughout the race here. I do apologize in advance, but that's just kind of the way they set it up and the way they have it all kind of written out for me and done for the day. So nevertheless, though, we are getting ready to hit the stages up and get the race underway here. So 20, 45, and 80 will be when we see that yellow flag pop on out for the stage caution / competition caution. Call it what you will. To me, it's a stage caution. Competition caution is just to slow everybody up back for a minute. But nevertheless, folks, it's time for the intros to get ready to go. We'll see you on the track in just a few short minutes. Time for the Pit Stall Racing Series. So here we go, race fans. Time has come, and we are engaged to center point. Presented by Lighting Wrapz. Here is your Christmas race at Phoenix Raceway's starting lineup. On the pole in the 03, it'll be Cody Griffin on the outside. In the 21, it is the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn. Row number 2 is Jeff Clifton. The 15, the outside. In the 056, it's going to be Blake Treywick. Row number 3 will be the Throttle Chantel Pottle, and the 5 outside in the 31's Todd Poston. Row number 4 it'll be Michael Taylor in the 08, the outside in the big 6 Eric Blount. Row 5 is Gordon Larson Jr. in the 00, the outside in the number 24, that'll be Tim Lee. Row number 6 is Steve Rada in the 80, the outside in the 292, it's Michael E. Campbell. Row number 7 will be hammered down by Cody Nelson, the 7, the outside. On the 9 camp, it's Corey Coe. Row number 8 is Len McNeese, the 84 of the outside. The 26 is Daniel Holloway. Row 9 is Ray Radford in the 47, and the 45 is Michael Pratt on the outside. Final starter in the 13, Douglas R. Johnson. Race fans, if you came in to see a show, you'll get a show today here. We're about to set the field, intake, and around the track. Field is ready to rocket it down and hammer off into the night lights as the winter storms rise up and come through the cities and the landscapes. We'll stay a little bit warmer in the Phoenix region with this heavy action race today. 150 laps to the distance. It's go time here for the Pit Stall Race Series Christmas race. Let's have some fun. And again, this is the closed dog leg version of Phoenix, so do not expect anybody to jump down to that bottom lane of the yellow anytime today. This will keep the drivers a little bit more bunched up, and if you ask me too, it's going to make things a lot more difficult to really control and hammer off from. Many drivers are going to find themselves trapped in some cases Just trying to get ahead and trying to get through the field as much as possible here. Coming down back out of the corners though, there's Raceway already, your race leader, the number 8, Cody Griffin, already going for a little tumbleweed spin there. On lap number 2, no less, troubles for the Ritz Oreo, number 8 here. Something going a little bit wrong here on his end. We'll take another look at it from the Fort Worth Screen Printing Instant Replay. Oh, and it looks like the old rattlesnake kind of took one for his own sake here. Looked like might have got a little too close there and had no idea what was coming next until it was kind of too little too late. See Con right here, he's keeping it close to the heart, but then you see a little lift up and he catches Griffin right on the corner edge of that bumper. Con definitely probably not too thrilled that he did that, and I don't think Griffin's very happy that happened. Your number 1 qualifier getting a rare mistake and a rare bump there, of all things, from the rattlesnake. I say rare again because I don't really remember the last time of seeing Con kind of just get somebody like that in the corner without really getting things figured out there. Well, while we're under caution flag here, let's take a look at our track tech talk presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Closed dog leg in this one, so you see there will obviously be our usual 4 corners. Of course, that dog leg area, though, that definitely makes things a lot more difficult as a driver because now you're stuck kind of in a bit of a packed-in little scenario. 1 mile in length, though, this track is designed and tested to give even the best of drivers a bit of a hard time, although I usually still prefer the old layout of old Phoenix. I do not mind this track layout in this format as well. This is definitely a very enriching little track, a very tight little end to face off on. Flat banking in turn number 1 and 2 though, definitely forces driver's hand a little bit more and be more settled and careful. 3 and 4 carry the momentum, but you better watch your braking zone. Overshoot that, and you're going to be ripping more than just your tires off. The rattlesnake going to get sent to the outhouse here. It looks like they're going to get these guys squared back up into this page here. Cody Nelson, the number 7, is going to go 12 spots up. He's going to be the new fast guy here. As we pack them on around here off the pack, Jeff Clifton, Blake Traywith, and Antel Pottle going to have a little fun here as well. So let's take a look and see who can get the advantage here. Up in the back around, out of a turn number 4 to that front straightaway. Green flag, back on out. Double-eyed in, double filed up. Now to the single end of the lanes here. Again, drivers trying to avoid burning up too much while at the same time knowing that these are not like the usual truck series here or Xfinity or Cup where you can get a little bit more momentum on the outside. These ARCA cars are time tested and strategy wise set to be a little bit more of a handful, if you will. And the way they kind of are more of a handful is because of the fact that you have the front nose kind of dripping down more than the rear, so the rear end's kind of like a holster. It gives you more power, more momentum to be able to use up, especially with these ARCA cars in general. They are designed after the Gen 4s of the NASCAR Cup Series days. Back then we called that the Winston to the Nextel Cup Series. The one big glaring issue, one crazy little feat situation that really kind of stacks up above all else is just the fact of you have to really hone the craft of these cars and understand their limits because they will test you more than you can test them. Easy to burn the right front or the right rear off, as you even heard Cody Griffin say earlier. And extremely easy, in my opinion, to give opportunities when you least expect it. As you can see already, a lot of spark coming out of that 056. Treywick's definitely dragging something down there, and it looks like he's going to have to be careful about that. With Ronald Chantal Bonnell definitely in a hot pursuit as she brings this Christmas life from SpongeBob down to the ends of the playing field. Cody Nelson backing him off for the back straightaway, off down to the corners. Clifton trying to make a run for it. Nelson hits the wall, entering through turn number 3. Slight little clip up there into the wall, gets that right front just a little bit more bent in. He's going to have to be careful about that. Does not want to let up, does not want to give up too much though. But he knows if he finds himself in that situation again, that could end up costing him more time than he needs it to be. Like Treywick last week's feature winner here, looking to cap off the 2022 season, year anyway, with another little victory lane trip. Definitely has the momentum right in center pointed, but you can just see passing opportunities far and in between right now. There you go, a lot of it boils down to that tight-ended dog leg there. You have to remember that dog leg is what's really going to throw these guys for a bit of a loop. Now again, the old dog leg they used to have, that was pretty much the back straightaway, was where the start and checker finish line was, and then you came through turn 1, 2 here. Then you had that slight little dog leg picked up, and then you had corner number 3 and 4 to bring it back down to the backstretch finish line. That still in itself is a very tough little track to figure out. All boiling down to, again, just a lot looser grounds, the asphalt being more temperamental, as well as the overall control and pace you have to have just to even keep your car online. Rolling up on lap number 20 though here, and that will be the stage break. I think a lot of guys right now are probably just being careful and a little bit more reassuring of themselves, just trying to stay out of trouble. I will say though, and there's one thing that we have also kind of talked about on the show, is that the ARCA Series cars, there's one thing that hasn't been done with them, is they haven't been really fully updated to what they're supposed to look like compared to the actual ARCA cars these days. But I will say this, I am still glad they have that Gen 4 scheme on the car, on the body panel, on the body type. But if it was me, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I kind of wish they had the 900 horse, or the whatever horsepower package they had when they were running those Gen 4 Cup cars. Just think about that for a second. You have that literally at Daytona, Talladega. You could run that. You could run those things into the ground and have a whole lot of fun there. And then just the overall racing you'd have on these other tracks, to me, would be magnificently credible to crazy enough to believe. Speaking of crazy enough to believe, Jeff Clifton right now looking to try and march to the top, march to the front. Got it around Nelson finally and opened the door up for a whole lot of speed and power. Treywick and Pottle staying right there with him. Clearing off the gaps here and continuing to dictate around the pace. Every driver for themselves here still. Clifton seems like he might be a little bit more reassured and a little bit more controlling over the tires and over the speeds here, and that seems to be helping him out quite a bit as you lean him down back off of turn number 4. Final laps ensuing for stage number 1. Treywick and Nelson going back at it here once more. Treywick looking to try to get the 056W machine ahead of the 7. corner after corner and after corner here, but it's still Clifton taking ahead. Nelson, despite not having a single lap put down, seems to be kind of getting a good idea of this place. Clifton with just 2 more good corners left needing to be had. He's got it through the first set. Now time for the final 2. Entering to turn number 3 and turn number 4, Jeff Clifton will take home stage number 1 here at Phoenix in the Christmas race for the Pit Stall Race Series. So a stage win there for Jeff Clifton here will hopefully bounce confidence up just a little bit. Cody Griffin making a great little comeback there, as well as Robert Kahn here after their little hiccup they had. Steve Rada having some decent moments there. Corey Coe, completely forgot all about him and went 8 spots up. And the number 9 Gulf Oil machine. So we'll have to see how well things play out for him and that team. He's going to have his hands full no matter what he does, though, and he's well aware of it. Lights flicker down now here on the track. We're going to get them squared up here for stage number 2. Bit of a wild little start out sequence here and a bit of a crazy little scenario here for everybody that went the distance. Snatched up, ready to bring him back onto the attack here off of turn number 4 this time on by. Jeff Clifton will lead them off the gate. We've got the green flag back on out. 25 laps now in the books. 125 still to go. Pit stops a many, pit stop a plenty. Everybody looking for that one little extra opening here. And so far only one caution here, due to the little bump and run, little tail whip there that Kahn gave to old Griffin there. And Griffin seems to already be making up for that mistake. Jumping it right back into territory and right back into the zone. Nelson and Poston going head to head though, as Griffin gets a little bit wide up at that top. He's not trying to chastain it, he's not trying to throw a Hail Melon, he's trying to literally get a control of the car here. as he gets it ripped right back around. Todd Poston able to take control of Nelson's run there. Nelson slowing up a bit here. Looks like he may be feeling some pressure now on him as he's as he's getting kind of thrown back into the ground here. Griffin just diving it in extremely deep here. I don't know how well that's handling on the tires or of anything, but he did say earlier, depending on how you drive it, you'll end up burning up the right rear more than the right front, or vice versa. Looks like we're getting an idea of what he's going for. It looks like that right rear is what's going to take the most beating, because that is what is going up into that turn. And he's just setting it in there too. He's not exactly laying off from there. He's just going for broke. Corey Coe, the number 9, now moving his way to the chains. He's got Nelson right in his sights, trying to take up the mantle and trying to take up the spot. Sparks fly as the 31 of Todd Poston takes a little bit of the wall there. Chantal Paddle closing in though on both drivers, as both of them seem to be having a bit of an argument on who can go where and who will go what. Meanwhile, right up ahead, Clifton and Treywick having a little bit of a fight on their hands. Clifton is currently trying to keep the car in a nice evenly keeled spot, hit his marks, and watch every little maneuver out on that 056. Probably just having a spotter helping him out more than anything to keep the car tight and keep himself loose inside the car. If the car is tight to where it needs to be, then it will hit its marks each time. If the driver is loose as well, that usually means they can help control it and keep the car right where it needs to be. A lot of mental games played inside the mind and really mentally just strung around on the track. That's the hardest thing about doing these kind of races, these kind of performances, is knowing you have to still keep a cool head and a mentally good, strong, fit brain to train yourself to really take on these kind of laying fields, kind of these shots. Great battle here for third here right now as Poston and Nelson Nelson, Poston and Griffin just laying it into one another. Griffin trying to get some run on the inside, couldn't quite get it there, but he's gonna send Poston sky high up top side, and he just takes control of that lane there up into the inside corner. Said earlier he likes it a little bit more loose. Well, that's exactly what he got there. Nelson though, oh my, right into the 31 there. Got a hard drive off, tightened up badly right front, taking a good lick at that 31, but Poston was able to at least keep it on all fours and not end up crashing it down into the sand pits of the desert of Avondale. I gotta be thinking though too as well how hard that must have been on the car and how hard that must have been to take a hit. Nelson, Poston, Pottle, and Coe all in that little fight out. Blount almost losing it there off of turn number 2. Thankfully saves it around the corner. Michael Taylor here throwing a field of shade there in the 98 machine. He is just digging through a few of these drivers here. Had to remind himself though he can't go in down past the dog leg. He goes nearly 3 wide out there with Nelson and Poston. Got to back out though. The Bell South styled up kind of Skittles machine having a little bit of a time here. I'd say Skittles machine because he's got kind of that Skittles rainbow to it. As Chantal Bottle finds herself trapped into the wall protection. How bad did that damage the right front up though? Looked like it might have done a bit of damage there. She's going to be a lot slower now. She's going to have to be careful about that. Remember, these cars will not take too kindly to smacking that wall around a bit. You hit that wall around too much, and boy howdy, you're going to be having a field day today. And Taylor right now just the evidence to some of these guys driving it in extremely deep and trying to make some moves when he needs to most. That seems to be working out quite well for his strategy in this case. Lap 45 and 80 still up for grabs here. Another guy that we've talked many times before about, Daniel Holloway, currently one of the tougher Super Late Model Series drivers on the normal pit stop race series schedule. Looking to kind of keep that momentum going, kind of keep the pressure on. Throwing the corners back there around at the 5 Chantel bottle here. Cody Nelson, the 7 right now, having some war of words here with the 5 as well. She'll go deep inside, trying to make a run for it. The 88 on the outside skirts it with Todd Poston. Don trying to do what he pretty much did last night in the Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League, where he just completely surprised and shocked a lot of drivers, myself included as a fan watching the broadcast, by just staving up all the tires he needed and using them on the last laps to take the Xfinity win and end a streak that was on a winning end. He's only the 2nd driver to win in that league so far. Should be interesting to see here in a couple weeks what goes down in that league on Wednesday nights, because again, next week they will be off for the Christmas break, so a little bit of time to kind of relax and rest it out here, as Holloway doesn't seem to be resting nor wanting to be caring too much about trying to take a rest or a break. Takes a good chunk of the wall there and slams right out of the gate. John Castle, if you want to see the lead, you may certainly see it indeed. Clifton and Griffin here finally climbing up and catching closer to the field. Lap here ending into the stage here. Stage break coming here as we're down to the final 5 laps to go. Gotta go where the action is, gotta go where the spectacles are going down. That right now looks like it is finally for the lead. Griffin and Clifton catching up to one another here, and now Clifton trying to defend Griffin off as the best he possibly can. Stage 1, the battle was for that leader spot between Griffin and Con out of the gate. Then a few laps in, both drivers catching themselves in a bad place, in a bad area. Then it turned into Cody Nelson trying to defend off Clifton. Clifton was able to outrace him and out-maneuver him, but right now he's in a bit of a dogfight here between him and Griffin. Griffin just giving it to him on the inside. Clifton trying to hang on down there here. Griffin still in a good playing field position, watching carefully on the laps, watching for every little angle he can get out from. So it just looks like the more they get around that turn, the harder it becomes to make the elusive maneuver. As caution flies on out here, trouble in the back. Many drivers involved in this one too. Major issue and dilemma thrown out there. Looks like maybe Gordon Larson Jr. and a few other drivers having a little bit of a problem down there. That will end stage number 2 in this case, so we'll move on to stage 3. But first, time to take a look at it and see what happened in the PT Mr. Replay. And it looks like Cody Nelson had himself a little bit of a mishap there from him in the 5. Chantel just driving it in deep and completely taking the 7 out. Nelson, he nearly got a piece of Gordon Larson Jr. there doing that little drift. I'm not sure what kind of move that was meant to be, but certainly was something, I'll say. Again, I don't know where I don't know how tight that 5 must have been, but seemed like Nelson was struggling to get the corner to turn, and then once Chantel just came up and got him, it's kind of do or die there. Daniel Holloway actually straightening out the 5 there after the 8 of Steven Rada just completely took him for a bit of a hit. That was kind of cool, though. You can see the 84 kind of popping in there. Lane McNeese able to get out of there cleanly. Everybody was able to avoid it quite well, I'll say. Well, everybody except the 2 that got involved in the wreck. So stage number 2 coming to a swift end. Michael Taylor and Chantel Bile staying out later than everybody else. Probably getting some later fuel for the run later. And again, we're not going to see really any pit stops in these stages. You'll see more or less just drivers being a little bit more patient, kind of taking their time, just trying to get a feel for the track and a feel for the tires, of course, as well, while we go around in the field here. Gifts and prizes also being handed out and set up for everybody that came out today. And for those that are watching live here on the show as well, thank you for tuning in to the show. Yeah, we're gonna ring him right back around. Chantel Throttle Pottle is gonna be your new leader here. Todd Poston going to be dealing with some pressure as well. So here we go now, hammer down time once more. We're going to bring the drivers back up onto the field and into the track. Lap 80 will be your stage 3 right here. A lot of hopes on the line, a lot of pressure on Cody Griffin already. He's trying to get squared up and he's ready to get at it. You can see the intensity looming. You mentioned and alluded to last time on the show about his aggression levels as well as everybody else's aggressions. Well, let's see how that plays out here when you bring some really loose cars back out on the track here. Green lights on. Field them back into position. First time we've seen Pottle lead this one out all day. Huge, good lead out. Problems ahead though. And once again, the Rattlesnake, surprisingly, gets caught up in this mess. Not really sure what went wrong there. We'll take a look at the P2 Mr. replay. Looked like Clifton was trying to go. And it looked like the 47 didn't even get off the line and took them both for a bit of a ride there. 47 to Ray Radford there. Looked like he just did not get the car jumping. And in turn, that thing just took a tail whipping around. Nice little hit there, and unfortunately that will send Clifton on back through the field. So race fans, once again, we're just going to get them put back in their proper working order and proper position here. right now. Everybody currently preparing back up on the field and on the roster here. Griffin did at least get a position ahead here as they came to that caution again. Wheeled off the corners, back to the green, off the front straightaway. Let's see what happens from here. Biggest thing here is they just need to get it off the line, get out of troublesome scenarios. They do this time around. Griffin deep on the top side here, looking for the throttle. And she blocks a little bit there. He actually got himself a little bit loose. Extreme aggression from the number 8 camp. Griffin just wheeling that thing, and you can see the rear end just sliding out from underneath that. Oh, a huge crash though ensuing in the front straightaway. Douglas R. Johnson spinning it completely dead on sideways in front of our cameras here. As you saw it happen right on the spot there. Bottle was able to get ahead of Griffin though before. Pass could have been made there. But what exactly happened here is beyond me. We'll take a look at the replay. Everything seemed fine here until right about there. Oh man, slammed the front of the nose right into the wall. And you know, with all that power, all that G-force is just fueling right into the 13, and Johnson cannot be feeling too good after that one. That was a violent hit there on the front straightaway. It's not often you see them lose control like that or things get out of place there, but it can happen. Once more, doubled up again. It's just going to have to be one of those kind of days. Griffin already trying to get himself a little bit more loosened up. Chantel probably just keeping a close eye on really what she's up to, which is mainly just focus on herself and focus on what she's doing. Because this is working right now. Don't try to worry about what he's up to. The rest of the field, though, probably planning and trying to set in motion for what they want to do next. Back to the green flag or restart zone. Still have about 21 laps left here in stage number 3. Uh-oh, oh no, hold on, Todd, oh my. Got loose there off turn 2, manages to recover nicely. Or maybe not, no, oh, hold on, wait, can he save it? Oh no, they can't save it, that's, oh no, oh my. Corey Nelson and Corey Coe there, they make contact down in turn number 3, and Coe and Campbell just completely dishing out more hits by the minute and more damage thrown right at him. And again, I don't know if that's just the intimacy of just trying to get farther ahead or maybe just some bad moves here, but Russian levels definitely at a high stake here and definitely at a bit of a disregard as well. The Gulf Oil machine, by the way, completely locking up the left front. Oh boy, oh no. That left front is locked up. And right now he's asking for the officials to open up pit road already, please, so he can get it in and get it out. He is damaged badly here. Well, about 16 laps left in this stage. And a lot of drivers right now currently have to figure out their strategy and their plans here before this stage comes to a quick end. Coming right around here, back to the start. Bottle getting a good restart out, and she wants to fire them on down. She's got Blake Traywick already, though, looking closer on her inside, but she's going to try to defend off both the outside and the middle and the bottom by running it in the middle. Smart thinking on the 5's case to be blocking and defending out in that level, in that area. She knows that's a great spot to do it at here, but Khan's already kind of thinking some headways here. Nearly 3 wide out with Treywick and Poston. Car loose there off the corner there. They're going to have to be careful. Khan right now trying to seize back a few runs and some momentum boosters after a little hiccup he suffered there between himself and Griffin. And another caution flies out. Treywick, uh-oh, hold on, there's trouble, and he's in the wall. Well, the funny thing was, that wasn't even the caution reason for coming out. But you can see who actually had the caution come out. There is massive damage on Daniel Holloway here. And the left front again, the center focus taken for a big smack and a crash here. Here's what happened. Holloway just got it way too hard there. Slammed it into the 8 of Steven Rada and the 9 there of Corey Coe, just having nowhere to go, and everybody else trying to evade, trying to avoid trouble. Another look at it here from the chopper cam, you'll see just how aggressive these moves can get and how tough it can be to settle in. Rada had no control. Daniel Holloway was trying to back off and then just got drilled. Let's put it nicely. Then you're probably wondering at home, well, okay, that happened to them, but what about Khan? Well, we had a chopper cam also kind of lingering up there, and it had a bird's eye view of this move. Caution's already out, but you can see Nelson just catching him off guard a little bit. And really nowhere to go either. Jumbles the field back on in again. And the more they keep them that caution flag to pop out, the easier it is for the throttle Chantal Bottle just to stay in that leader spot. I don't think she'd be complaining one bit about that. Rodney Christian coming on board saying great racing tonight here. Grundy, thanks for tuning on in as we're approaching halfway into this one. The throttle so far has kept her race lead intact, but now she faces yet another tough little restart back on the Fort Worth Spring Princeton restart zone. She'll set him down. Todd Poston not getting a very good start out of the gate. That will cost him some time here. Eric Blau making a little bit of a resurgence through the field here as the rest of the field currently trying to hammer off. Griffin deep on the outside trying to make some moves and some quick pacing. Puddle hanging on to the race lead. She has not used up much of her tires, if any, so we don't even know what the full power of her speed is at the moment, but we do know everybody behind her, as always, got something inside, something in mind. 45 Michael Pratt here, pushing up a little bit on the number 6 of Eric Blount. Blount trying to evade, trying to stay out of that mess there, and definitely is successful. And outpost and going one on here with Trey Wick here. This will give Pottle even more time to catch up and get away. She's trying to speed off and let those other two deal with each other here. Post not able to jump ahead now and right back into the fight. Poston looking to trying to keep his momentum up, trying to keep the run engaged here. We're down to the final 7 laps left here of stage number 3 to then hit the final stage up. Jeff Clifton slamming it right off of turn number 2 there. Got a little bit too aggressive and too lenient. The Pennzoil 1 getting a good hit off there. The throttle, Chantel Bottle on the 5 staying up into the front half, trying to keep momentum up, trying to keep the pace ambiguous and indifference. The rest of the field trying just to stay out of trouble, I would presume, and just kind of looking at the overall picture here. Even though this is a fun race, no points on the line, there are still prizes on the line, still other things in the works and in the taking, depending on how you do and depending on how you finish. So again, I think that kind of forces some guys and gals to really get more on the higher end zone of just letting it loose and just ripping it around. However, that still has not forced anybody's hand to make any proper or big mistakes here. Chantel Bottle right now currently keeping her 6 Sigma Sim Racing SpongeBob SquarePants Christmas scheme ahead of the field. I think the spirit of Christmas is dwelling within her. That's what is keeping the Nightmare Before Christmas behind her. Although I think that Nightmare version may be coming up a little bit closer than she realizes. Poston coming in here and coming quick, trying to get around the 5, and he is fighting for every little ounce he can get. They run the Circle models or the street stocks here because, man, I tell you right now, there's a lot of bumping and banging that would be done right about now. I'll tell you that. I know this because I've done it before with these things. It is a track you can bump and bang on, but I wouldn't recommend it if you don't know how to hold your line or really keep the thing on line. These ARC cars, I would never even recommend touching with either. It's amazing some of those hits on the side they managed to keep them intact and not wrecked out. 2 laps to go here as we are closing in. Clifton making a little return, comeback trail here. He's fighting hard, fighting quick. Burrow him down, 1 more lap to go. Chantel Bottle here just needs to keep it clean and then get it ready for the final stage ahead. This just goes to show you she knows how to fight him as much as she will race him. Poston though, almost getting the inside corner panel there. He backs off and she defends it out. Sends him down through turn number 3 into 4. Watch out for Clifton though. He's going for broke. Too little, too late. Pottle will take stage number 3. So stage 3 is all but done and over with now. This is just all to finish out this race. Pottle definitely got to be happy with herself here, knowing that she was able to take down some of the heavier hitters in these races and kind of the toughest adversaries in her normal points league racing. But now, Focus coming in, coming up quick here. Some rubbing his racing attitude here from Poston. Bottle trying to fight it back. Maybe a little too late though for that here. She tries to dip it into the inside. Clifton gonna go in there and try to take her position. Going from first to second, then maybe third. They're trapped in between though. They're 3 wide off. Chantel completely blindsided by Clifton as Poston goes into the wall protection. Wild little shot there in the dark. Everybody getting trapped in between. Back in the playing zone here, the 31 of Poston trying to hang on. He knows now he's in a bit of a dark spot, a bit of a fight out spot. Khan starting to linger his way back in. The rest of your field currently burning up tires, burning up some rubber, just laying it out there. I was kind of surprised though we didn't have a caution flag thrown out here for the lap 80. I thought that was the stage break or what they were supposed to be doing for a stage break. Coming around, ooh, around there yet again. Todd Poston, he gets a clip and a rear in the back and the side. And he just gets completely chewed up and eaten out of there. Poston after that little hiccup there and opening the door up for other drivers to come in and try a little shot in the dark here. Eric Blount gonna come right down into the corner panels here, trying to take control. Talk about a wild little end game there we had going on. Every driver for themselves, every driver just trying to make it or break it around here. Gosh, the flag is out, it looks like. So, looks like no drivers spun out or taken out of control there. So, that will give the drivers a chance here to kind of refresh and regroup. Bit of a rehash here. Lingering up with just under 60 laps left in this race. So much on the line here again for the last races of the season. Of course, next week, folks, we will be heading down to Las Vegas back for our normal scheduled broadcasting for the Pit Stall Series, and then one more coming at Richmond on the 5th of January. That will close out their season books. The Misfits iRacing League are still going to be out for a time. They'll be back in January, though. And then, of course, Six Sigma Sim Racing Oval League, they will be gone the 28th for Christmas. So that will kind of stretch us back out and send us back onto the tracks and onto the stones there. So here we go, race fans. We're going to bring him back on down on the track and bring him right out. This is their final stage of the night. The Christmas race of Pit Stall Racing Series. Having a little bit more fun on the show as we'll now see Steve Rada, Blake Trawick, all going at it here on an individual playing field. Should be interesting to see how crazy this one can get. Rada gonna fire him off. Trawick gonna hunt him down. And Daniel Holloway now intervening into the picture too. So it looks like it's gonna be kind of a catch-22, kind of a flip of the coin on who can take the advantage of the other. That's Todd Poston. Spins it right around here on down the back straightaway here. Trouble. Unfortunately for the 31, brings us out to yet another caution flag. And the chaos just continues to ensue when you least expect it. See, we can see right here, looks like Poston just overdrove it. Almost catches the 7. Got the 9 loose, lost in the turn, and then Griffin, oh man, gets slammed in there, and Chantel barely avoiding Griffin as well here. Definitely a bit of a bad little spot there, and a bit of a run in the rut. Yeah, guys, we talk about it constantly, but, you know, when you swap between cars, you swap between tracks, it really becomes more of a catch-22, if you will, on how it could go. If you don't have any practice out there and you don't have any idea of what you're getting yourself into, It's a challenge. It's an absolute challenge out there. "50 laps left to go. Something's got to give here at Phoenix. What will give first, though?" Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Huge wreck off of the back straightaway. Massive pile-up and collision. Many drivers involved in this one. I can see Michael Taylor back there wrecked out. See Cody Nelson getting away from it, and just a massive violent wreck there, unfortunately. Absolutely nowhere to go from that angle there. Better look at it. Looks like Taylor got it a little bit too low on the yellow apron there. He got it right into Gordon Larson Jr. Len McNeese trying to evade and avoid it, and there was just nowhere to go. Cody Nelson badly damaged on the right front, major damage on the left front for Taylor, and yet again another caution is brewed out due to the overwhelming issues that plague these drivers so far today, which seems to be mainly just trying to keep the car in one piece above all else. Very crazy to believe and very crazy to think here. This field now has to get back into proper working order. The field now lingering and lingering back around once more. Time to ring the field back up again, see what we can do. At this point, it's just kind of a hit or miss kind of momentum occasion. Sometimes you get the long run, sometimes you get that extreme short run. Earlier on, we got the good long runs. Now we're trying to get that long run back. The short run's kind of intervening. Breda takes the early advantage here out of the gate. Gets himself a little bit of a run off down to the corners, down into the turns. Treywick Condo on his tail. Con trying to get 1-for-1 this week. He's looking to go back-to-back in terms of days. He's won it in victory lane on some race or some track. Rada right now trying to make sure he doesn't get his hand forced or get himself cramped and get himself into a very troublesome slate here. Got it right back around there. Got a good shot in the chance department. Rada opened the door up there for the rattlesnake and gone. Got himself in the right time, the right place. Go to the inside, battle of the eights, the 88 versus the 8. Treywick and Clifton literally right in the mix. Gone pushing his limit right up on the 1 here. Brett Clifton trying to hang on. Nelson literally intervening as well. The 7 machine just completely kind of taking this race and storming in stride and forcing everybody's hands just a little bit more. Diving him in deep 3 wide. Rada in the wall trying to stay off Griffin here. Griffin in the other 8. Try to defend the 8 here as much as he can. Larson Jr., the double O right at the moment, looking to capitalize on that mistake from the A, going too far into the outside wall, retaining the barrier and keeping himself a lot more trouble. Got a good look out here right behind as the number 98 Bell South machine looking to try to make a move down there. Oh, and Rada again slams the wall, and I think I might have done more damage than he realizes. Right front massively taking some serious hits and taking a really bad beating down there. Can't do much more with it. Robert Kahn, Jeff Clifton, and Blake Treywick right now kind of lingering on around once more here. Treywick right now trying to get back ahead of Clifton. He hasn't really been around the leader spot all day long. He's only had a couple of opportunities. But no up for grabs shots or any momentum base there for him, and he is still searching desperately to make anything work, and it looks like he's going to try it again on Clifton deep in the inside line, but just could not get a run off the outside again, going to Clifton. And Kahn knows as well. He's using it to his advantage and really letting himself keep fired up on the show. Nelson and Griffin kind of bringing it back around the house, back into the fields here. The field is still deadlocked between one another. Nobody giving an inch here as Nelson has a great shot in the dark. Puts it up side by side there with the 0.56. Right rear is definitely taking a bit of a beating, and now the right front gotta be feeling the pressure too. Right now, this field's stretching back out further as we go. Clifton, Kahn, all of them trying to hang in there a little bit. Chitapano, Michael Taylor here after their brushes with the front, brushes with the top spot. Seem to be kind of put back in their own little place, their own little position. As pit stops are being made right now, Gordon Larson Jr. and Eric Blount going in first. Cody Griffin still trying to get around Cody Nelson though, back on the field run. Gone parking it down at pit road. A lot of drivers currently right now in pit stop territory. Some using their fuel lines up as much as they were using those tires up. So now they're just kind of figuring out the last bit of the puzzle here. Clifton taking the lead away here. Swinging them right back around right now. Nelson, Griffin here. They are not making it easy on one another. Griffin especially probably getting more and more frustrated with Nelson than anything else. Looking on the outside. Got a good run to shoot out for. As the caution flies out, though, that will definitely slow them back down to a crawl. Problems down there for Eric Blount. As a number 6 goes for a little bit of a ride down there. Looks like in turn number 2. And man, talk about another hiccup and another kind of corner off stop here on the track. Oh my goodness. Looked like Rada just completely kind of got him clipped up there, had no control of where he was at until it was too little too late there, and that was a massive hit again. Something I absolutely hate seeing is that front of the nose jamming into the wall so quickly. That's just a bad spot to be put into, and again, don't think for 1 second Rada meant to intentionally get the 6 there. It was just kind of a bad area. Just happened to be kind of in. Because you can see as soon as the car got tagged, everything else just completely went haywire. Cody Griffin right now at pit road ahead of the field, but it's going to be Clifton and Treywick battling it out. Going to be interesting to see how the judges decide it. Clifton seems to have gotten the favor out of it. Bell South 98 here. Michael Taylor probably hoping for a little bit more of a better luck here and a bit of a chance here. And we are down now to the final laps here in the Christmas race here at Pitstall Racing Series, showcasing the ARCA Series of Phoenix Raceway. Well, the field has currently separated and stretched out farther than we expected and further around the track than we were going for. We are down to the final 18 laps left here at Phoenix. Clifton will lead them off, trying to get his win he's been looking for so long. Treywick looking to go back-to-back weeks in victory lane in 2 completely different cars. Look out down there, Pratt nearly losing it right off of turn number 2. Big at 3 though. Here comes Treywick down the inside. Clifton up on the high bank near the wall, slamming the gas pedal down, just trying to keep that 056 behind him. The outside line is going to be where the run's going to be taking control of, but again, it's extremely difficult to have to worry about at the same time because again, you got so much going on behind you and in front of you. Michael Taylor here getting a little bit of an idea of that too, as he almost gets it run in there from the number 8 of Griffin. You see Bottlinger in back there as well, right ahead of him, right ahead of her, Steven Rada, Cody Nelson, and the other Cody Griffin there. Blake Treywick though, a little bit of problems down there, slowing off. Rada, same thing, but this case here, looks like Treywick may have overdone the corners a little bit too much. Michael Taylor now moving the chains right up ahead. Jeff Clifton right now is currently the leader here, and as they stack them up once again here, the field is just in a hodgepodge of trying to outclass and outdo the other. Coming around though, uh-oh, more trouble possibly. Yep, there's trouble, and it's around. Todd Poston sends it back around off of turn number 2 once again. And he just completely kind of whipping it around the corner. Looked like he was trying to get it up ahead, back into the fight. Made some good ground up here, but you can see as soon as he shot off turn number 2, that thing was just ready to rip it, and then it spun it. Good driving though from him to be able to stay out of that mess and get it back where he needed to. Slamming the gas down and then slamming it on the brake, then the accelerator to the reverser. He was able to keep it off the wall, but very much lucky as can be. Because if it had hit that wall, that would have been much, much more catastrophic. with the final 10 laps remaining here, race fans, we're going to send them back off and around the track. Cody Griffin going to get himself pretty much what he's been looking for all day, and that is a little bit of sweet redemption and chances to finish this night out on a high note in a high spot. We're going to bring him right off the distance here to the Fort Worth Screen Printing restart zone. Here we go. 9 laps remain. Clifton, though, yet again with a strong restart. Everybody right now just trying to dig in deep and hope for the best here at this point. They know this is not going to be easy to get around. And once again, Todd Boson into the wall off of turn number 4. Yet turn 2, I should say, off turn 4. Khan making some moves on the throttle, shut up model. Jumps out ahead of her right there. Michael Taylor, Ray Trawick also all trying to get their run in between. Cody Griffin, Jeff Clifton right now looking to hang on for all it's worth. These drivers have faced tremendous parts of this race and extremely tough calls to make. Slight advantage to Clifton here. Griffin looking to try to hang with him. Bringing him back off turn number 4 though. Griffin with a slight run there on Clifton, trying to make the move off. They'll put the bumpers together a little bit, getting Clifton a little bit loose. Trying to open the gap up and widen out his chances, but you can see Clifton knows what Griffin wants to do, and he's playing exactly the strategy he does not want him to play, which is follow exactly the line he's been using, forcing his hand and forcing his opportunity at will. 5 laps left to go. Something has got to give, and Trawick is already trying to make it work his way and make it worth his while. Nelson also looking to kind of get back into the frame, back into the run here, but unfortunately for him, unless he's got more momentum, he is hanging with us here, or hanging from us. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get back up to him. Clifton and Griffin right now, they are just deadlocked between one another, but again, Griffin trying to get any more contact thrown on the one of Poston, or excuse me, Clifton. Three laps will now turn to just oh no, oh no. I was just gonna say, we're gonna go to 2 laps to go, and the final caution of the day may have just secured a fade out here. Green white checker coming up. They only get 1 attempt, but Michael Frown unfortunately takes a bit of a ride here off turn number 2. See there, Blount backed off, didn't want nothing to do with them. Oh, but unfortunately Ray Radford was not so fortunate. And I think everybody right now is kind of expecting this one to end and let them finish it out. That will not be the case. Remember, folks, they get one last race start. Green-white checkered is up for grabs here. Possible opportunity and chance to take control of this one. Griffin has been fighting all day long to try to get into that top spot. He was only in there earlier for a brief short time before taking a very nice little hit there that he got from the rattlesnake. But now he's going to try and hopefully stay off that course, stay off that bench there. You can see you see a 7 of Cody Nelson. He's not having mechanical problems. We're not having issues in the car. He's trying to get he's trying to get the tires as more warmed up than he's ever had today, and hopes that it might be enough to finish out this run. Off the distance for the final time today. The Christmas race comes to an end now. Well, who's going to be the winner? We're about to find out. Here's the green. They'll jump start him up. They'll lead him down. Clifton trying to hang on though. Nelson as well. Griffin all over the place trying to keep it out of the problematic zone. Clifton trying to defend it for what it's worth. We're going to the white flag. That's time on by. Clifton and Griffin, one last round at it, one last fight. Clifton gonna try to hold that bottom line away from the 8. Griffin going for broke. They wreck hard behind. Massive pileup ensuing. Straight to the line to off of turn number 3 to turn number 4. And Clifton will hold off Griffin to the line by a car length. What a performance. The Christmas race winner is going to be Jeff Clifton. And he's been waiting quite a while just to be able to get this one off. A celebration time indeed for the number 1. Race results on your screen presented by Lighting Wrapz here. Jeff Clifton, Cody Griffin, Cody Nelson, Blake Trawick, Robert Kahn, Michael Taylor, Todd Poston, Ray Radford, Steve Rada, and Gord Lawrence Jr. rounding out the top 10. Douglas R. Johnson not able to finish this race out due to too much damage and mechanical problems plaguing him throughout this one. We'll take it on down now here, race fans. We are down in pit road, and we're going to listen in to the drivers. They knocked him out of the car. The number 7, Cody Nelson, going to hard charge this one away with 10 spots up. Nelson, congratulations on that. And also, what a race you had, sir. Having to take control and really feast or famine on some of these guys. A lot going on, a lot of craziness mixed in between.
Yeah, I just got to thank Tim for putting it on. Got no practice time. I think I turned 1 lap in practice. Qualified, like you said, P10, and just somehow to manage to stay out front, stay decently clean, and pull a decent run out of it.
For sure there. Now, I'll ask as well here. I mean, had a lot of crazy roads in the playing field and a lot of hard drives from the getaway here, but for you and this team here to be able to walk away and pull this one out, I mean, tell me all about it, man. We're happy with those tires just completely burnt and fried up to the point of no return for you and this team.
Well, at the end there, I got that lucky pull out of the hat by Mr. Dave, and I was able to pit without losing my spot. Got 4 freshies with the green-white checkered there, starting 4th, and just had a lift on Cody. I didn't want to wreck him for the finish there. Could have had a second, I think, but I'd rather respectably finish 3rd.
Very respectful indeed, and it looked like it ended up working out okay for you and this team here. So, as you come away today here with the 3rd place finish, sir, who do you want to thank for all that?
I just mainly want to say thank Tim for putting it on, Dave for being up in the booth, and both of them organizing all, and everybody for coming out.
For sure there. All right. Hey, Cody, congratulations, man. Great to hear you back in the podium spot today.
Thank you.
Cody Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, going to take it home in 3rd place here. Cody Griffin, though, going to secure another podium, but going to come away 2nd today. Cody, congratulations on that 2nd place finish. And really, you know, comparatively to all the other runs you've had, this one definitely ranks up there as one of the harder ones to deal with. But for you and this team here, you had a lot of areas you couldn't really get around, and it seemed like Clifton was just out to defend it all, wasn't he?
Yeah, he definitely was pretty tough to beat there. Man, we had to come through some adversity. Robert got me on lap 1. Wasn't intentional. He just got in the gas too early and spun me out. Luckily, we didn't hit nothing. And then just when we came, seemed like every time we went to the back, we slid into a wreck. Them guys back here was having trouble, but we ended up getting back up there. And excuse me, I honestly think that we probably could have won that race had that caution not come out at the end there. I don't know exactly what happened, but I feel like we had a good shot at him there until we got that green-white checkered, and obviously he restarted on the top. We were on the bottom, and the bottom sucked. So we kind of lined ourselves up there for a 2nd or 3rd place finish when that green-white checkered come out. But it was fun. I really enjoyed that. That was I think everybody had fun driving that. That took a little bit of wheeling, but it was definitely worth it, and I just hope these guys had fun with it too, so maybe they can go to that car for next season.
Yeah, I definitely could say it seem like they can get separated out a little bit better and not have to worry too much about getting too crazy or too all over the place in terms of the momentum. But same time here, I mean, you had your fair shares where you had to get that momentum up too and really push the fine line of the limits here. With the way this car was, I mean, there was a few times you were almost completely gone and lost in this machine. How were you able to kind of just stay out of that area and keep this thing on all 4s at the end of the day?
Well, I mean, that's, you know, I mean, you got to be able to drive sideways, especially in these things. You know, loose is fast, and nobody's having fun when the setup's bound up, plowing and won't turn. So this was definitely a step toward that. Like I said, I had a blast, and hopefully they'll run this car some more, and I'll get to run with them a little bit.
For sure there. All right. Well, man, Griffin, anybody else you want to thank you for the 2nd place today?
Thanks to Tim for putting the race on there, and Dave for race control, and thank y'all for broadcasting. And I think we got 3 races left in the championship for the points, starting again next week, I believe. So we're definitely going to try to win that championship, go out on a high note.
For sure there. All right, Griffin, we appreciate your time down there today, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Cody Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, going to come away here today as your 2nd place finisher. As the guy that's going to finally get this one out for once, it's going to be the ARCA driver here, Jeff Clifton, going to bring it to victory lane. Clifton, this number 1 machine ends up being number 1 after a fight out and a shootout from point A to point B. But, man, tell me all about it. How were you able to even do it?
I would say probably luck more than anything else, really. I didn't get home until I think with like 4 minutes left in qualifying. And so I only had the 2 laps of qualifying to get my practice in for tonight. My first lap, I put it 3rd. So I guess Phoenix is just one of those tracks that I'm comfortable at. I don't really like the new configuration so much, but tonight, I guess the stars just aligned. The car felt really good out there. It was a little bit free, not too bad. I was able to tolerate that, and just getting lucky on restarts pretty much. Staying out of trouble was the biggest thing. I got shuffled to the back one time, but it didn't really last long. That last restart, I was able to get a jump on Cody, but I think if Cody would have stayed with me going into turn one, it probably would have been a different outcome of this race. That guy is a hell of a wheelman. So to be able to hold him off is a feat in itself. I'm really proud of being able to do that and being able to say that I won tonight.
Being able to say you won tonight, taking home a long running fight from point A to point B. And Clifton, I know you haven't been able to visit Victory Lane very much throughout this season in general too, but to be able to finally get this one off your back here and get this one into a good spot, I mean, does this really kind of help bring out the more fight and momentum in you and this team, you feel?
With this car, I've always loved this car. I've always been pretty comfortable in it. It's nice to finally get the monkey off my back as far as winning goes. I've had pretty terrible luck for the whole year pretty much. But we'll see what happens going forward. I'm going to try to first get a paint on this car, and then we'll talk to Tim about the next season for the pit stall being this car, because I feel like maybe the racing, it might be improved on the Super Late Model Series, but we'll see what happens.
Well, we'll have to see what happens indeed, but it sounds like some folks, and yourself included, really do want to get this car back out on the track. But for now, we'll kind of cap it off with this, and who do you want to thank you for this one today, sir?
Wow, got to thank Tim. He's the one that put this all together. I didn't know this race was going to happen until like a couple days ago. So first of all, Tim has got to do a better job of advertising this so that we all know we can show out for him.
Hey, that advertisement went up a long time ago, buddy.
All right. Well, anyway, got to thank Tim for putting this together. They did a really good job. He puts these races together and he puts the league together, and he just shells money out of his pocket to everybody. I really honestly haven't been in a league with anybody more generous. So it's really nice for him to do that. And like a lot of people don't think about that part of it. There's a lot of work that goes into doing a league, and it's not free. And he does it without really any help outside of admin help. So we're really appreciative of that.
Thanks, buddy.
For sure there, man. All right. A big win for you today, Clifton. Congratulations on this one all, bud. And we'll see you next time as well with you and the professor here.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Vance is going to kind of clear it up here tonight. Tim, you got some final words here, buddy?
Yeah, I was curious who won the Christmas. What did you guys decide on the Christmas paint scheme?
Well, to be honest, the one that kind of struck me the most out there was that 5 of the SpongeBob scheme. Honestly, that was the one I think had the most Christmas love to it, so I think we got to go with the 5 in this one.
Alrighty, buddy.
So it was either between them or Top Poston's 31, and honestly, there was more of a nightmare before Christmas for him. So I think we got to give a little love to the SpongeBob scheme for the wholeheartedness there. So
yeah, I appreciate all these guys getting creative with some paint. So I always like to see it, especially around the holidays.
For sure there. All right, Tim, I know there are any final words here for anybody out there that wants to listen in?
No, just thanks for watching. And Chris, I appreciate you in the broadcast. Like, you're one of my favorites, obviously, and plan on having you stick around as long as I run these series. And just have a Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday, and we'll be back next week.
Indeed we will. Race fans, thanks so much. Thanks to our sponsors. We'll see you guys next season. Thank you so much. We'll see you in a few weeks.